We get phone calls every day, every single day, about what happened to the lawn. And like, oh, let me tell you what happened to the lawn. And, hey, Gardy, hey, man, tell me what happened to the lawn 3 years ago.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, you don't
I
remember.
can't even remember what happened all day yesterday. You know, at times, right?
I feel you there. Hi, everybody. It's AJ with Hippie Fertilizing on the More Than Grass podcast, and I'm here with Gardy.
What's up? I'm with Clear Life Media. I'm excited to be here, AJ.
Thank you. Today, right now, I got a lot of dirt on my mind, man.
You got to get it out. Got to spill the dirt.
That's right. So let me ask you something. Have you ever spread sand?
I don't think I have. I have played in sand. I have
Yeah?
a little sandbox for my kids in the yard, but I've never spread sand.
Okay.
Right.
Have you spread soil, compost, anything like that?
I don't think I have, no.
No?
It looks like hard work. And I don't mind hard work, but some hard work is just a little too hard. I think for me, right?
Okay. Don't need no gym membership when you're moving cubic yards of sand. Do you know how much a cubic yard of sand weighs?
No.
On average, it's 2,500 pounds. And I say on average because that's going to change quite a bit whether it's wet or dry. And when you pick up bank sand, it's usually kind of wet, but if it's been raining, it almost seems like it's 1,000 pounds heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Harder to spread, all that stuff. It's freaking miserable sometimes. So we want our conditions to be the best as possible, all that stuff. But I ask because, again, I like picking on you, like my average dude, man. Got your life going on, right? Wife, kids, business, which you're a business owner too, right? Clear Life Media, which is freaking awesome, by the way, that I've gotten to see a little bit of my own of like your growth. And congratulations.
Thank you
for what you have going on.
It's a lot of fun.
And because of that, it allows me to be here. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking amazing. But I talk about this because we don't see often what can go into something, whether it's, what you do, right? There's a lot behind the scenes or a lot of setup, a lot that it takes.
Hair, makeup, all of the things before we get here so that way we can look okay.
Right. But also, the cost of what goes into something,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have no idea what these mics cost. Seems like a lot of people have no idea like what a trailer costs. And because you have a trailer. Yours is very fancy. So I know that costs some bucks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what did it take to put down a cubic yard of sand? Right?
Yeah. The only thing that I have to measure it off of, and I thought about this whenever you were talking, the only thing similar that I've done is I've dug holes, like not necessarily ditches, but I used to work for an AT&T contractor, and you would put these boxes that go, I mean, they're probably about as tall as a person, but they have to go that deep. And so there's a backhoe getting it out. But anyways, spreading, shoveling, doing all that, it's hard work. So I don't necessarily know what goes into spreading a cubic yard or foot or however much, but it seems like it would be a lot.
It is. And trailers range from like $2,000, $1,500, all the way to $12,000 on up. So that's just one side. You got your truck, you got maintenance, you got labor.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, even a landscape rake, which is a longer aluminum rake. It's flat on one side and has the little prongs on the other side. Dude, guess how much that rake is?
I don't know. I'm going to guess 20, 40, somewhere in between there.
Usually like $60 to $80.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
For that rake. And if you have a leveling rake, which most people don't, they're not really used around here, that's another $60, $80, right? Like, how much is a backpack blower?
A backpack blower. So this has like electronics or battery?
Mm-mm. No, just one you see lawn care guys with,
Yeah.
making all the freaking noise all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
You
gonna say it has to be $150.
know? Dude, on average, our backpack blowers cost between $350 to 500. Actually, in the bigger ones that a lot of the commercial guys have, those suckers cost like $700 to $800.
Yeah, I don't know, like, why are backpacks so expensive? It's not even just that. It's like if it's a backpack, it's like we have the technology to make a backpack, and now we get to add the backpack fee or
Oh,
something. It's
dude,
so expensive.
that's
Anything, it's a bag.
for lawn care guys. That's actually part of like one of the cheaper pieces of equipment.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a good weed eater costs about $400, $400 to $600. You can get some cheaper ones like Echo makes a great one. You can get one for probably like $200-300 at Home Depot, right? But a better commercial one,
Right.
and it matters. And I learned this a long time ago working with a Hispanic guy. When I used to cut grass, I had a little cheap one, and he said, "No, you don't want to use that long, because it'll burn it up. It doesn't dissipate heat if it's smaller."
Mm-hmm.
And so the bigger ones, bigger engines, bigger like little fans on them because they're air cooled, so they can dissipate heat. So you can run that sucker for 8 hours straight
Wow.
and not burn it up. Whereas a smaller one, you run it for 8 hours straight, do that 3 days in a row, and you're gonna have to drop another $200, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those things, like, they're just stuff that we don't realize that goes into something, right? And like on the flip side of it, I've been doing stuff for a long time. Lots of guys have. Y'all have been doing this for a long time. Although my stuff is, I think, much more clear cut, right? I can look up on a app and tell you, hey, Gardy, your square footage is 4,300 square feet. You know, roughly, we're going to charge you this much per cubic yard, yada, yada, yada. I know your stuff is not nearly as cut and dry as that. So I'm fortunate in that end. But because I'm fortunate in that end, man, let me tell you people something. Please, for the love of lawn care guys and estimators out there everywhere, if we have the experience, and a lot of us do, in whatever field, like, let us bring that to the table real quick to speed up the process, not waste time, get things moving, right? Because we get phone calls every day, every single day, about what happened to the lawn. And like, oh, let me tell you what happened to the lawn. And, you know, hey, Gardy, hey, man, tell me what happened to the lawn 3 years ago.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, you don't
I
remember.
can't even remember what happened all
Okay,
day yesterday. At times, right?
I feel you there. Like, what did you do last week? I sprayed grass. I spread fertilizer.
Yeah.
Honey, you don't remember? Is it important? Was I supposed to? Anyway, I say it, and I'm sorry, everyone. Like, I'm not trying to be mean and ugly, but my admin and myself, and I know I'm not the only one who goes through this, right? But we'll get these like long stories about, well, back in 2020, we had the freeze and this happened. And I'm thinking to myself, like, look, our lawns are not that special. I'm going to be honest. All that marketing BS that you see from these other companies that we're going to customize to your lawn.
I see those. And I'm going to say the marketing kind of works. It kind of works. It's like they'll give you a special blend because people do want to be special. So,
Right.
but yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Right.
Because again, you're like my average dude.
Right.
So you see these commercials and you're like, my lawn.
Yeah.
Right.
And they hook it up to the hose end sprayer that they send to you, and you just do. I'm like, I could do that. I could see myself doing that, right? And it's custom for exactly what my yard needs. But I have had that thought, like, probably just the same. It's just the same for everybody because most of these yards do need the same thing. But I'm special. It's custom for me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at how he said that, feeling so special. I could see the little glimmer in his eye. Right. It's for me. And you know what? When we do our work, we are doing our work for you, right? That's true. But let me tell you, after 8 years of fixing lawns, I almost want to start second guessing myself sometimes because I hear all this special custom crap and I want to like almost make it more special, right? And how I can only make it so damn special, people. Uh, but we do what we do often. I'm going to do the same thing across your lawn. We're going to put down some humic acid, some molasses, throw on some Microlife Humates Plus or some Nelson's, like, well, they make my own fertilizer. It's a 1812. It's pretty dope. But Nelson's, say, Slow and Easy or something. It's great fertilizer. But across the board, I hear the same thing. And it's not what, I don't care what happened to your lawn 3 years ago, okay? The most important thing is what's the current condition? Oh, it's basically the lawn is in need of repair, to say it nicely, right? It looks like dirt, and we want it to look like a lawn, right? Or it's full of weeds, whatever. So, okay, what's the current condition? Here's what we're going to do. Let's move forward. And then not having moved some sand, right? But what if I tell you, okay, well, you call around because people will do this. How much do you think a cubic yard of sand costs?
Just cost.
Cubic yard of sand.
Okay, so this is difficult for me because I'm not even sure, like visibly seeing a cubic yard of sand, like what that even looks like. So if you had to estimate, like how many,
So the
compared to
typical
something.
kind of frame of reference for that is how much they can put in a regular, and I'm talking F-150, 1500 type of truck bed. It's like one scoop out of a tractor, the smaller scoops, because there's different sizes. But the average tractor you see around these lawn care places or material places, one scoop into your average truck bed is about a cubic yard.
Okay.
Does that kind of give you an idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And technically, a cubic yard is 27 cubic feet.
I was absent that day at school.
But technically, like these when you go buy a cubic yard from, say, EDS or Jardina or wherever, you're getting more than 27 cubic feet, right? It's more on the end of like 30 plus because their thing is bigger, but that's just kind of like the standard thing. Boom, cubic yard, scoop. Whatever.
Okay.
So having that.
Just for that, just one scoop, man, I'm guessing at least in the range of, I'm going to go with $88 to, well, I'm trying to see, $88 to 115, somewhere in there.
So I love that number, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay.
But cubic yard of bank sand, now we're just talking bank sand, cost generally around $33.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
That sounds better.
Excuse me. So I went to EDS Landscape. They're real close by my house. I wanted to put sand on my lawn. But I have a 1500 truck, and I have my spray tank in the back. You know, and I didn't want to like have to worry about the trailer and all the stuff, right? I'm just trying to work on a small project. Here's where that $88 is really funny. Okay. A cubic yard, roughly 27 cubic feet, $33. I wanted them to put it in bags, and they will. So I paid $8.50 for 10 bags. Add that up, right? $85. What I will tell you is this. Moving those 10 bags and putting it down and everything without the trailer, wheelbarrow, shovel, blower, you know, all that stuff, took me freaking 20 minutes. Did it really fast. So I paid, you know, an extra $50 in convenience, which kind of in retrospect for me, because of the small project, it's well worth it. I didn't spend an extra 2 hours doing stuff, unloading the trailer, hooking up the trailer, got to put up the trailer. Life, man, when you do this stuff, it feels like it evolves around the trailer,
Yeah,
right? Which you can kind of
right.
relate to now. So yeah, I did pay for that convenience. But going back to the $33, right? So when we do a lawn leveling, it's typically like $350 a cubic yard. Okay. Now, you, Gardy, when I tell you the price of a cubic yard of sand,
Mm-hmm.
and then I tell you the price of what I would charge you to put that cubic yard down, what's your thought?
It seems, whenever I first hear it, it's like, oh yeah, that's a big difference. But with the intro to this show, there's a lot of stuff, and I understand with the trailer, stuff happens. There's the cost of taking anything out, even if you used it, for I'm going to use it for 10 minutes, taking it across the street, or we're going to be using it all day. Then it can't be doing something else. There's the cost of I'm going to run over 2 pieces of wood and dent the and damage the trailer, right?
Right.
So it makes sense to me because there's a lot of equipment that goes into making sure that it gets done correctly, and then also that it looks good and you have the right tools to spread it. And when you were talking about the cost of that rake. Yesterday, Kurt was trying to throw away a broom, and I think he did throw it away because it's in bad condition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, dude, we're gonna go buy a new push broom. We had 2. One was really bad, one was good. But it's like it's a broom. I don't want to have to go buy another broom.
Right.
But you do, and so that way we can have a nice clean floor, and it's the same thing. So that it makes sense whenever you think about everything that goes into it. Because I'm not gonna go either rent a trailer if I don't have one, get that dirt in there, and do it myself. It's worth it to pay that, to just have it done, and then also have it done correctly in a quicker way than I would get it done myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we get to say volume, right? Okay, well, 3 cubic yards would turn out to be what, $1,050 at 350, right? And people are like, well, if I do more, don't I pay less? Or can I get a deal? You've lifted weights, right?
I have.
Okay, yeah, I know you work
Not
out
today.
and stuff.
Not today.
Not today. But lifting, let's just say 25 pounds is easy, right? That one time,
Yes.
typically.
Yeah.
Let's say 10 pounds, okay? Really easy that one time. But you could take the same 10 pounds, and now I'm going to tell you, no, Gardy, I want you to lift this 100 times. It's not the same, is it?
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, halfway through, and then number 100 is way different than number 1.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hold on, people. Just because, we're doing much more volume, my workload did not become any less. If anything, it became more, because if I'm not the one doing it, now I need more people to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just as your stuff grew, the things and the people that you need to make this thing happen grew, right? So well, AJ, it's $3,500 to put down 10 yards. Mm-hmm. Because shit, either I'm going to make more trips, right? I got to pay for delivery, and now I need labor. And I say these things because sometimes we talk about lawns all the time, right? Every day. And people are like, man, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, dude, do you know what it took to just move 1 cubic yard? Much less 10 or 12 or 20, And so I want to be here to let people know we can bring it, right? And lots of guys can bring it, but have some stuff in mind, because we also get treated sometimes like we're nuts, right? Or we're ripping people off or what have you. God, it's, my favorite one is, that's too rich for my blood, right? I've heard that a few times. So, I kind of apologize if you feel like I'm taking a poke at you, but I want you to see a little bit of the other side of it, because the other part of the whole moving of the sand and everything, and it's not just the sand, it's the fertilizer, it's any kind of job that you do, right? And I would say for myself, but this could go for any service industry around homes, whatever, or your vehicle. there's a huge difference in, like, if you're looking around and you don't know, make that like a clear intention real quick, because again, most of us, we know what we're doing. We can look up your stuff or figure it out. Hey, this is what we charge. This is roughly what it's going to cost you. It doesn't take a 3-hour conversation about what happened to your lawn in 1978.
I'm sure it was a great story.
You know, like, I went through Harvey too. I didn't talk about it much. All right. I went through the snowstorm, didn't talk about it much. All right. You don't know how many times my transmission broke in all my trucks. You know, it's okay. Like, that's not your business. What is your business is you want your lawn fixed. My business is I can fix your lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's drive there. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
So if you're shopping around or you don't know, let us know, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? Hey, Gardy, hey, you want your lawn leveled? Okay, Gardy, you got like 4,000 square feet. It takes roughly like, what is it? I would want to say, just off the top of my head, for us to adequately make a dent in leveling your whole lawn, it's going to take 6 to 8 cubic yards of sand just to, like, really, put roughly a 1/4 inch of material across that
Wow.
whole lawn. Okay?
So what I would do is just pick my favorite cubic yard and go from there. Like, I
mean,
really
like-
like this corner and this spot.
Not his cubic yard,
Let's knock it out.
but his favorite section of the lawn.
No, it's like, I like this one. That's it. What's the benefit of doing something like that? I know you say leveling it, but what is the benefit? Why would somebody choose, or you recommend that they need that done?
A lawn leveling is great for a few reasons. Number one, it's gonna help that lawn be slab instead of drab. Okay? Soft, luscious, and beautiful. Okay? After it's done and grown in, it helps to level it out. It increases porosity, which means, like, when it rains real heavy, it's going to absorb better, so you're going to not have as much puddling and stuff like that, which people pay $3,500 for drainage around here. And I'm like, dude, you could have, like, dropped $1,000, improved your lawn, added some sand, done all this stuff for 1/3 of the price, but that's a whole nother story. Leveling it out, improving porosity, just making it really smoother. Also, adding bank sand adds a ton of minerals, right? That's going to last, like, long term. So all this crap that we put down to try and fix the lawn, what it really needed was, like, that labor intensive sand, instead of all these treatments. And then another huge benefit is it helps out the lawn maintenance guy, which helps out you. And I say this, and what I mean is, if the lawn is smoother, then it can be cut more evenly. And then the whole thing looks better, because there's lots of times lawns are uneven and the lawn guy is just doing his job, and then boom, he hits a little hole, and now that section is scalped and it has a potential of causing other problems. And it looks uneven and rough, and, like, you want to point your finger at the lawn guy, and it's like, the lawn guy can't help how bumpy your lawn is, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Don't blame that dude for everything.
Yeah.
If he's just coming in there and scalping it at 1.5 inches, yes, get rid of that guy, or talk to him, and then if he doesn't change it, get rid of him. But you're mowing at a decent height, and this happens a lot on lawns, and it sucks because we have tons of new builds, right? And their sod installations are straight boo-boo. So, like, man, I paid all this money. Like, yeah, you need to pay a couple grand more and level it out. Sorry, dude.
Is there a way to fix that, or even work with those people? I guess if somebody was buying a property or having sod laid down, they bring in, because I don't know. It's like, hey, could this be done a little bit better? Or, like, would they even listen? Probably not, huh?
From my experience, I've never heard a good story about, oh, we talked to this guy and they came over and made it so much better. Never. Okay. I've acquired some new customers over in Friendswood, which I know you're familiar with, right? Beautiful homes. I don't even know how much they cost. I don't really care. But God, we got some big old yards, and I'm used to working in lawns. I'm almost tripping. Okay. I'm like, damn, man, there's gaps in this sod. You could build a pool in here.
Wow. They probably will. Yeah.
Right. So unfortunately, usually not. I would say if you really have the money and can put the time into it, I'd say like let the builder do everything else and then let another person come in and professionally install that lawn because typically it ain't gonna work out very good.
Right.
You know?
If you have the means and it's your most people's biggest investment if they purchase, a home, I think about it like a guitar. Yesterday, I went and picked up a guitar from Danny D's right here in League City that
I thought.
I had worked on, and they had it for a bit. They're working on another guitar too, but they know things I don't know about guitars. I
Mhm.
can play it. I'm okay. I'm not like amazing or whatever, but they know things that I don't, and for that, I give it to them because I paid thousands of dollars for guitars.
Mhm.
I need this to when I pick it up, I need it to work. And y'all know how to do that, and y'all will do it well, and y'all have a work history and people that vouch for you and I trust those people. And so I'll pay whatever it is because I can't do it. And the part I can go buy they put new tuners and a new bridge on it. I could have spent, less than $200, $150 or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Charge whatever because when I pick it up, you can do something I can't, and I invested in it, and it's gonna look good, and it's gonna
And
sound good.
to say that, like you said, charge whatever. And I get where you're coming from, right? But also, I know what Guardy really means is like, yes, you're down to pay for the service within reason, right? If someone told you, hey, Guardy, this is going to be $5,000 to do
I'd
this.
probably say yes, depending
Yeah.
on which guitar.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, like I probably there's some that I would because it holds a more sentimental value, I guess.
Okay.
But whenever I invest, let's say, because I have some expensive guitars, not getting into it, but if
Uh-huh.
it's like I have a $5,000 guitar, I wouldn't want to pay $5,000 the cost, but it doesn't matter. Like make this work for me. But that's not just the norm for everything. But yeah,
Right. But again, it's going to be like within reason
for sure.
and to some degree.
Yes.
Right. And I just say that because, like, I'm not out here trying to charge $1,000 per cubic yard. Right. No, I know that's not reasonable. Even being a business owner, nuh-uh. Right. But $350 is like, you know, if we're not charging that, it really ain't worth it for us to even show up for that kind of work, you
Hmm.
know? So it's good to understand more of what it takes to do something and to have a budget, right? Hey, Guardy, you want to fix your lawn? Okay, well, what's your budget on fixing your lawn? You may have one, but you may not. And that's where coming into understanding what some of the costs, and it's okay to call around. Our prices are going to be different. What it's worth to one guy and what it's worth to me may be a little different. Now, if it's like the difference of this guy's going to do it for $200 less per yard, sorry guys, red flag, you know? But if the other guy's going to do it for like maybe $100 less or $100 more, I think $100 less. Please, guys, if you're in the lawn care business, don't do that. Okay. But then it would go into like, well, what are you getting out of it? Because it is going to maybe be different, right? We add an extra $100. We're going to spray it. We're going to put fertilizer down with it. We're going to do everything to improve the success. And I'm very dang particular about putting down my sand, right?
Hmm.
I've had guys working for me who are like, AJ, it's just dirt. And I'm like, you tell me that one more time. You're going to be walking on the dirt road home, pimp.
Yeah.
Not really. Never made anyone walk home. But I do let people know, like when we do a top dressing or a lawn leveling, like it's an art form to me,
Hmm.
right? And it's something I'm like, get really particular and passionate about. So we want to make sure it's done all nice and smooth and pretty. So when we walk away, we know that we did the very best. And depending on the season, within 30 days, you're going to see a significant difference. So people, when you call to get this lawn leveling or get a top dressing or get anything done, I highly recommend you have some sort of a budget in mind. And if you don't know what that budget is or should be, just be upfront real quick. Hey, generally, how much does it cost to do this? Right? So we don't have to know about what happened in the lawn in 1978. I just want to know what you want now and
Right.
get it on with, right? Because, hey, just like you, your time is valuable. So is mine. And I do have other things to do, you know? So thank you for that, everybody. All right. Clear Life Media, y'all making things awesome out here to do things like this.
Dude, I love it. We just get to have fun every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And sometimes spill the dirt, man. On dirt. Check out hippiefertilizing.com. And if you want that really green grass, we have our own 1812 fertilizer. So like, subscribe, and remember, nobody knows grass like a hippie.